Hello, and welcome back to the Patrick's Green Tea podcast. On January 25th, 2021, I sat down with a friend of mine I met through my college senior thesis documentary. When we did our first interview about his band Ship of Fools, Dan and I immediately hit it off. He's an incredibly driven artist, working on multiple music production, music performance, and film projects since we started talking last fall. He's introduced me to a lot of new music and people, and I'm incredibly grateful for our friendship. It was pretty soon after we started talking that I wanted to bring him onto the podcast. We found that we had a lot in common, but also that we had divergent interests that made for great conversation. Even within the scope of the Grateful Dead, which we are both passionate about, we have different preferences for certain eras and band members. I'm surprised that the topic of the Grateful Dead didn't come up very much in this episode, but it probably was because we talk so much about them normally. Dan and I also recorded an episode on this day for his podcast, Speaker Cables. As of this week, the episode is not aired, but stay tuned for when it eventually does, and check out the first episode of Speaker Cables, which is up on YouTube right now. I originally recorded the episode with cameras, but I won't be releasing the video immediately for a bunch of reasons. I wouldn't expect to see it published for a while, but since weed is now legal in New York and almost legal in Connecticut, I'm definitely considering it. Shout out to Eliana Beitler for designing the Ship of Fools lighter, animating the Ship of Fools movie, and for being an awesome human. Dan and I keep referencing the logo for this podcast because he put it up on his TV for the duration of the recording. Another shout out to the creator of the logo, Aiza. That's it, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we have I have the distinct pleasure to welcome Dan Murray of Ship of Fools fame.
Thank you. You could have a lighter.
Yeah, so, I mean, the man's band has their name on the lighter, so I mean, like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was our first. That's shout out to Eliana. But that was the first merch that I wanted us to go into, is lighters.
They came out really cool. They every time I'm looking, I'm just like, they catch my eye because they're like bright orange with black text, and it's just like very easy to see.
Well designed, well constructed by Eliana Beitler.
Absolutely.
So I mean, let's get into the real green tea. I want to talk about do you have to go through anything on your behalf first before we go into like the weed topics?
I take care of that in post.
Oh, you do an intro?
Yeah.
You've done an intro to this clip right now?
No, I didn't do it yet.
But you're going to? Based on what we're doing here right now?
It's just like things I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Like once I listen through, I'm like, oh, I wish I mentioned this.
How do you feel about a podcast that has music underneath it, like at a low volume, like for background appeal?
That would be cool, I think.
You like that?
I've heard podcasts like that, and it's just like light piano. I think it works really well.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that too, and also just like another thing to kind of creatively, make a folder full of these little things to just play in the background.
Yeah.
But then I don't want it to entirely become that, so it's a battle. But yeah, I mean, take the wheel, dude. So I'm just excited to talk about weed.
It's good, man. Like I was telling you, I freaking had a list of stuff just to like reference. I was gonna start having like, with guests, I usually do some research. Usually the guests I have, I just know nothing about. And I'll just be like, oh, I'd love to talk to him about this. But for this, like, I forgot to prep at home, so I'm just like, well, it's not.
I mean, if anyone knows anything about me and my doings, it's you. After the last couple of months.
Exactly. So we have plenty to talk about either way. I really enjoyed those freaking cosmic brownies. They were good.
I'm about to reach for one in a second.
Product placement.
Will they sponsor you?
No. I mean, I wish.
We can't say her name.
I would do that. If Cosmic Brownies sponsored this podcast, we'd be on a different planet.
Shout out to Small Deborah.
Yeah. how did you enjoy your first Dead experience? Like your first, like seeing something Dead related live.
I think I gave you those files too. Actually, in 2014, I went to the Beacon and I saw Further, which at the time was John Kaladek, and then Bob and Phil. So that was like April 2014, and we talked about it. They did a lot of covers and stuff, which was strange, but it was still cool to see them for the first time. But I think the real first Dead experience was Gathering the Vibes, and that was 2015, maybe 2014 as well. Might have been the same summer. And then that was like all of them had, they all had their own bands. Bobby had some, his own thing going on. It wasn't Wolf Bros, if I can recall correctly. Phil and Friends. I think Bobby was playing with Bruce Hornsby, and maybe Witten as well, or Branford, whichever one plays with them.
Gathering of the Vibes. Holy shit.
No, yeah, it was a stacked lineup, and then it never came back other years. I don't know if they just didn't get the funding anymore, or if the spot was. It was in Bridgeport.
Man,
in your home state, dude.
Yeah, man.
It was probably the first time there. Definitely not a poppin' city.
No.
But dude, Zappa plays Zappa. That was the first time I saw Dweezil. He came out with an Eddie Van Halen style guitar and did Eruption.
Man,
pretty sure the Roots were one day. The Machine, it's the seminal Pink Floyd cover band they were talking about before, did a 2 a.m. set of all of Animals. It was a dream. There's one more. Primus. That was the other one. Primus with Les Claypool. That poster over there with the pig head.
Who was the drummer for Primus? Is
Jay Lane
famous for something, right?
Jay Lane is the Wolf Bros drummer.
Yeah.
Jay Lane subbed in for a little bit. They went back to the other guy whose name is Tim Herb Alexander, something like that.
Man,
Primus is. I can't wait for your Primus phase. For some reason, that coincided with my Grateful Dead phase. Was like, I think the Grateful Dead's the warm, summery part of psychedelic rock, and then Primus is just like a fucking melting clown carnival.
Jeez.
Yeah. it's sick. Oh, it's awesome.
What do they sound like? What's their genre?
They came up in the 90s, so I'm sure they probably get labeled as alternative.
Interesting.
You definitely know one of the songs. I don't know if it's a Primus song. I think it might be just less, but the South Park theme song. That
they made that?
Yeah. Les Claypool did the South Park theme song. The Robot Chicken theme song.
Oh, I know the Robot Chicken. I don't know it
It sounds basic. If you really wanted to put a pin on it, the Robot Chicken theme song's probably a little bit closer to what Primus is serving up. But all over the place, there's some really cool songs. And then that one with the pighead pork soda is really good. Sailing the Seas of Cheese is really good. Tales from the Punch Bowl is really good. And now he plays with Lennon's kid.
Julian or John, there's
Sean.
two. Sean, yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna be so pissed if I get this wrong. I'm pretty sure that it's. Can I look it up? Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Who is in the Lennon Claypool Delirium?
I don't have that information in Lennon Claypool.
Oh, British Siri. Oh, I can't change it either because else your thing will go away. Dude.
I wish I knew who designed this. I could probably pull it up, but someone made this. That is not me.
Is that a K or an H in Patrick?
It's a K.
I hope so. For $5.
Yeah. No, it's just it's a skinty boy.
What if you get him on here? We have this whole documentary about finding the guy on Fiverr who did this, and then he goes, "Oh, I thought your name was Patrick."
Yeah. There's a font that I use for the YouTube thumbnail that I really like. I think it's called Milkshake. It's
nice.
it's like really. The only thing is the numbers are atrocious, and
Yeah.
it's just not good.
No, I get that sometimes. I'm a big soap. You use soap, that font?
No.
That's a good one. Courier New. I'm a big Courier New fan. I like looking like I'm writing on a typewriter, even though it's on my 2013 MacBook. Man, what are some other good fonts?
I like Times New Roman. I'm a simple man.
You're a simple man. Dude, that's totally your bread.
I do a lot of like more. I don't know.
You're a guy who uses Comic Sans for fun.
No. There's a few like on special occasions like for
Sorry, go ahead.
like I said I've been doing Minecraft recently. I have a world where I only play while I'm high. And then
Right.
I
From
upload it.
I remember this from the last episode.
So I forgot where I was going with that. It was going somewhere.
Yeah.
It was something about
I was gonna say, if I get any liquor in my mustache, you gotta let me know.
okay.
That's a big issue I'm facing right now. Is I can't have foods that require a lot of mouth motion. Because you know what else it is too. If I if I go like this, this part of my mustache comes out this way. So I almost gotta, I understand why Bobby has a mustache that goes like across his face now, because he doesn't, when he's having ice cream, he doesn't want to have to keep pushing his mustache hair out.
Yeah. That's exactly why.
Can you use that? You're gonna use that? You're gonna edit it out? Because that was gold, dude.
Of course, gonna use it. Yeah. Man, dude, we went from like the logo to the font to fucking a conversation about fonts.
Yeah, and it's all on camera too.
I like.
Is that crazy?
By the end of it, my mind was like, "What is
people
happening?"
think people think that it's easy too. People, I think, with like anything related to entertainment, they think that the job is necessarily related to less work and more, more glitz and glamour. But it is genuinely hard. It is anyone, and I'm not even boasting saying that I've gotten entirely better with talking on camera. But people who talk on camera for the first time sound like they're like that. They don't remember how to be a person when they see a red blinking dot for the recording light. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like some people are just like, and then they try to like act cool, and you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to think that like I had good because I wrote some questions out on a sticky note last night, and
Do you have it on you?
no, that's what I'm saying. That's when I left home.
Oh.
So I'm trying to think. I guess the main thing, the big picture is that I'd love to talk about the dead and to talk about weed.
Mm-hmm.
It's mainly with weed. What's your favorite thing to do while you're high?
Listen to music.
Is there like just anywhere, like you could be walking and listening, or do you have to be like on your bed?
So doesn't need to be anywhere necessarily. Making music, I'd probably prefer to be here. If I'm listening to music, it could be, car, my headphones. If I'm listening to stuff I'm working on, if I'm walking around. I like it in the summer for sure. When it gets nicer out, I like rolling something up after getting some work done, taking a walk at maybe like 3 or 4 when it's like cooler out, like when it starts to cool down in the afternoon, and just walking around.
Yeah, you have a really like great area to walk around in. I have to go to like these trails in the middle of the woods to be able to walk around.
Yeah. I like woods too. Don't get me wrong though.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big like roll something and take a hike person in high school. I think I always tried to center things more about like being here and making music or listening to records. But I admire that a lot too.
Yeah.
And I think that, that's like the adventurous kind of feeling that you get too, like the first times that you got high. Like the first times that you get, first couple times you get high, or everyone has those stories where it's like an adventure. And I think that's like the closest way to get back to it too, is when you're taking a hike through the woods.
Yeah, for sure.
Unknown territory. Young, wild, and free.
I think weed also like feels like kind of mystical when you're going through it.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, I'm sure there have been times when you were high and things just felt so strange, just like what is going on, like, and then you're put back in your sober self and everything feels like just weird.
Can I ask you, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you on weed, like in terms of that feeling?
That's a good question.
Where things are strange and you've had the carpet pulled out from under you.
On weed, I feel like, and I'm allowed to talk about this one, in the Netherlands, I took like mushroom truffles. You can just buy them legally and just take them. And I feel like that was...
Like psychedelic mushrooms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know those.
And so I like smoked earlier in the day, and then I tripped later in the evening.
Like a lot?
They were truffles, so like they didn't really last too long.
Mm-hmm.
I took them slowly too, so they were like less intense. But and it's just not. It's pretty mild, but it was just. But your question was, what was the weirdest sort of like feeling that happened to you?
Yeah.
I think anything related to psychedelics is really weird,
I've been even talking about that. Like, you ever had a time when you smoked too much and you were like trying to go to sleep and
Okay, well, I guess I might have. I might have at some point, like early on, but after I took like truffles and stuff, I feel like that, like weed is so not mystical compared to that, You see what I'm trying to say?
It's taking me to another world right now.
I know.
You really want to talk about mushrooms?
Sure. And you know what? I can like edit this all out if I want to, so we don't even have to be walking on eggshells.
You could edit me out right now. And
Yeah.
you know what we got to do at the end of this? When I get up from the chair, you have to do a crossfade so that I'm not in the chair anymore.
Yeah.
Well, what was that your only experience?
Actually,
or?
you know what? There was a time. There was a very particular time that just came into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was just smoking weed at City Field. Actually, I was.
Where the Mets play?
I guess so. Yeah.
Let's go Mets.
Yeah, let's go. My 10th grade teacher my 5th grade teacher was into the Mets. But anyway, shout out to Mr. Bigley. He was dope. Mr. B. That's what we called him.
Mr. B.
But anyway, at City Field, this guy was selling like edibles,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't seem real because I've never bought any weed ever before that.
You really put yourself in some situations where you find crazy people.
Dude, absolutely.
Like, and I said this another time. It's not that I didn't anticipate this stuff from you, but you have many of these stories where you just find these characters. I don't know if I search out these characters the way that you do, but I'm impressed. I am impressed.
Yeah.
So you tracked down a man at a major league baseball.
I didn't track
event.
him down. I just walked by
He tracked
him.
you down.
No, he was just standing on like an intersection, just saying like edibles,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it. I'm like, okay. So
What kind of edibles?
he made these like, lollipops. It's like this hard
Yes.
candy.
Yeah.
Then he made. I know you know what it is. But I'm saying the lollipop.
It's on a stick.
The lollipop part of the lollipop, just that like hard stuff. He would put out into like these weed tendies, I called them, They're like they look like chicken tenders, but they were just that candy that you would eat. It was like 30 milligrams or whatever. I just had like a 10 milligram lollipop, and dude, when it turned dark, when it turned to nighttime, and they did that second set with the Help on the Way. Then they did Eyes of the World, and then they did Franklin's Tower.
Was this like one of those for real, like the weed lollipop trucks or whatever?
No,
like,
it was just a dude.
Oh, it was just a random guy.
Just a dude.
That's honestly more reliable. I thought you were talking about those stupid trucks that.
Oh no.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. No, this dude was, and it worked for sure.
How many Dead and Company shows have you been to? I feel like every time you hear about a new Dead and Company show. It's above or below 10?
Above 10.
Above 10?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I have a count of like just all the bands I've seen, which is like probably 20 something, 30 something. I think a majority of that is Dead and Company, but I don't know if, because Dead and Company, like, I followed.
I used to have it in that cabinet, but I have like a big file of all the tickets from shows that I've been to. That would have been fun to go through. That's gonna be tough to find. I don't know if
yeah.
I don't know if I'll have time to do that. There's a lot of them.
It's all good. But anyway, at the City Field, I had it was such a. I have a whole episode. It was one of my first episodes of this podcast where I just talk about it at length, and like, I don't know. It felt, well, first of all, because it was like an edible, I felt like a full body reaction to it. So it literally felt like, when like you're in a roller coaster and you have to strap in. It literally felt like this invisible strap was pulling me into my seat, and it was like really intense. It felt like I was on a rocket or something, and that whole night was just so, I don't know. It was my first Eyes of the World, which was really, that was something.
It's beautiful,
dude. I cried. I didn't cry in a long time since before that, and then I cried. I don't think I've cried since. It was a very impactful moment.
You haven't cried? The only time you cried is at a Grateful Dead concert? Oh boy!
Yeah, okay. Man.
That's beautiful. I cried at Paul Simon.
Oh really?
Yeah, I cried at.
So you can relate.
Oh yeah, I cry at concerts all the time. I think music is one of the one of the surefire ways to make me cry. What's a song that makes you cry that's not Grateful Dead related?
Ooh, that's a great question. Oh, you answer that first. Uno reverse.
Song that makes me cry. One time, walking to my high school job at an organic grocery store, I was listening to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and I started crying while walking across the intersection to get there.
Wait, which group is that does
That's
that?
Elton John. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
Dude, I don't know the song. I know.
You've been to 25 Grateful Dead shows, but you don't know Goodbye Yellow Brick Road? Seminal song by Elton John.
My music taste is really bad outside of the Grateful Dead, and it's always been that way. I just like found the Dead one day and just got really into them.
Man, I want the people at home to know I gave him a terabyte full of different music.
He did.
He's slowly making his way through it.
Kamasi Washington is great, but before we go on that tangent, because there's a whole tangent there.
Right. Can I offer you one of these cosmic brownies?
No, I don't want. I realized that would probably sound really weird to munch into the mic.
Oh, I already did it, dude.
I know.
Got it. You're gonna have to edit that whole section out.
I don't know. I guess besides the Grateful Dead, what do I even listen to?
Yeah, man.
I was tearing up. Not gonna lie. Totally.
If you're about to say that,
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
How did you know, man? Yeah.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, and it wasn't because it was like because the song was good. It was just like I was listening to a live version and having a fucking million little like teenage girls.
No, a million little what?
No, nothing. No, nothing against Swifties.
A million little girls. Oh, I'll hold it up.
It was weird. No, but the way it was mixed, it was like they were all super reverby, and they were louder than Taylor Swift in this song.
Oh yeah,
and
so
they were
it's like
singing
Taylor
along with
ducked
it.
out, and they're singing the words.
Yeah, it was just overwhelming. It was weird.
Oh my
Like
god!
I teared up. I didn't cry to that. I don't think I've cried to other music.
It just tore me apart.
Yeah. So weed is pretty cool at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I didn't even expect to go that deep into the whole weed thing, but we went there, man. We've been.
Dude, what's this podcast about? Green tea?
It's about the tea.
Do people wait? So is your cover up that it's about green tea, like Arizona green tea?
I don't even think it's a cover up. I think it's like a weird like joke. It's like green tea. It's like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like if it's on a list and you're looking at different podcasts, you're not going to really think it's a weed thing until you see the.
And your T standing for THC, I'm guessing, is the. Oh, it wasn't.
No,
it was just green tea. All right, cool. All right, well, there you go. You can tell people that as well.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was for. But Patrick's Green Tea podcast, man.
Yeah. See that I don't even use this logo much. I just use the.
I like that it's like a waning crescent. You know
yeah, I do
about?
too. I think that was a cool touch.
That was a cool touch.
I didn't even ask for that, and it was just like I said, like a circle, but she made it cooler. Shout out to Fiverr workers and artists.
You don't
they don't
have
crazy.
a username or?
Oh, they do. I could shout them out.
Yeah, shout them out. Shout them out. We can. I mean,
the people can wait.
Yeah, the people can wait. You can just edit it.
Yeah, it must be like DoorDash for artists is like Fiverr, but probably a lot. You don't make as much.
Can you charge more than $5?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can charge like, but $5 is the standard, I guess.
I really just want to get famous enough for Cameo fame, where like someone can be like, "Hey, can you make something for my grandma?" And I'll be like, "Hi, hi Susie's grandma. It's Dan Murray from Ship of Fools. I'm out here playing Grateful Dead's music, but I'm thinking about you today. Have a good one."
Oh my god. Yeah, Cameo is interesting. I can't find it.
I almost bought my mom a Pee Wee Herman cameo for her birthday, but it was like $250. And I was like, this is just a little bit too expensive for it to be, for how funny it is.
Yeah, that's like a festival ticket or something.
Yeah, for those of you at home, my mother has you gotta grab a photo of this now for reference, but she in the kitchen of where we live, she's got a Pee Wee Herman on Broadway framed photo, or framed poster, I should say. And when you walk into my apartment, it's the first thing it's literally the first thing that you see when you open the door. So that's how we've been greeting people for the extended amount of time that we've been here.
Wow.
Do you know who Pee Wee Herman is?
Yeah, I do know. He is. I never watched any of his movies.
Right.
Because I was just never shown a Pee Wee Herman movie, but I'm sure I would enjoy
it.
It's
okay. It's not mandatory, but he's just a quirky guy.
Yeah.
I don't know your reference. You don't know Elton John, but you know who Pee Wee Herman is?
I know who Elton John is. I just didn't know the song. So the Fiverr person, I think it's a her. Her name is is Aiza.
Aiza. At Aiza. Thank you.
It's AIZE EKHAN 98.
You gotta have like a little animation.
Yeah. On Fiverr.
Yeah. Thanks, Aiza.
Thanks, Aiza. It's a good logo, and I use it all the time. I think it's real. It's the most minimalistic possible logo you can make out of a weed leaf. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
I'm telling you, I really think it's an H.
Yeah. It's not the best K, but it's a good H.
It's a good H.
I think if I wanted to, I could just I don't know, just go
It
to a
could be.
different font
You know,
and just make the K that
that
font.
is a different font.
Yeah,
Not, at this point, you just got to legally change your name.
exactly.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, no. Edit that out.
I probably will. All right. Underrated performance of the night. The coconut tequila.
The coconut tequila, yeah.
I
Bai coconut, or whatever, however you pronounce it.
oh yeah, BAI. It was a little expensive. I would say that the ice would have probably been better, and it's like half the price, but same outcome.
What about ice?
Ice is really good. It's more fizzy. It's not as
Oh,
like
it's a flavor. I thought
This-
you were talking about the ice that's in there.
no. It's like a brand.
Yeah, I'm going to have to reload in a second.
Yeah.
I really thought that, I thought I'd be on my ass by now, but I've been holding up okay. I'm
Oh, yeah.
not a tequila person, despite my my adventurous lifestyle.
Is tequila different than like regular alcohol?
Yeah, for sure. At least just for me. For some reason, to clear things like vodka, tequilas, Patron specifically, I'll throw up or I'll fucking. I can't say that I've done something really stupid, but definitely at my most stupid.
Oh man. No, I mean yeah. If you drink it over time, here's a plug. Ready for a plug? The Drunk Patrick Chronicles. That's a thing.
It's another episode.
It's another like series in the podcast's like life, and you can only get it on Patreon. That's like a real thing.
You deadass have a Patreon?
Yeah.
That's sick. Do you have any followers?
I have 0 followers, but
Dude, when I get a Patreon and do the same thing, I will be your follower. We'll just be exchanging the same money to each other.
it's a good idea.
That is a good idea, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's that old like story of the person who like loans someone 20, or like so you
The old
give,
wives' tale.
say I give you like a gift card and it
Yeah.
has $20 in it, and then or a birthday card. And
20 they usually do it in 5, so let's say 25.
the next birthday, you because I'm next, you would give me the same amount of money,
Right.
and then you just keep swapping the same 25. And it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I do think there's some people like that.
who?
I mean, not in my life personally, but I could just see like, you know,
Just in
not like immediate family. If you're giving immediate family gift cards, you know, that's you know, well, I don't know what your house is like, but you get them something to open. That's
Yeah.
always been my thing. Get them something to open, and then a gift card's the second thing. Like the gift card should be the second most exciting thing,
Yeah,
right? Because that's definitely an awesome way to also like, what if someone gets you more things than you got them? You know what I mean? And you give them a gift card, it's not really like you're giving them less things. It's like they're gonna go take care of this themselves, right? You know what I'm saying?
yes, I do.
If you're giving someone just a gift card, like in a business thing, you know, I don't know how many business relationships I've had like that where I'm getting gift cards, but that's, I mean, I feel like that's the big thing, right? Is like business relationships, and distant, like you don't know what that person likes, but you're like, oh, she's a girl, okay, I'm gonna get her a Sephora gift card for $15.
Or if it's like a distant friend,
Yeah.
like you just like it's a friend of a friend.
Teachers around the holidays and you know, going into the summer.
You give your teachers gift cards. My mom has given us presents to give to our bus drivers at the end of the year.
Classic.
I think that's awesome.
Give them the bus drivers. Man, we had a bus driver. We would drive by this sign that stuck out a little bit too close to the road, and one time we hit it by accident, like with the, like just the corner of it, with like the mirror of the bus, and you just heard it go whoa 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 whoa, whoa. And the bus was silent for a second, and then you just heard everyone go, like just started screaming, like that was the coolest thing ever. And then for every single day of that school year, the only thing that you would yell going around the corner is hit the sign, hit the sign. That's a real story.
You drove this bus?
No, it was when I was going to like middle school.
Oh, okay.
It was my middle school. It's like the 7th grade, but every day for the 7th grade after that sign was hit, which had to be, I'm guessing, early in the year, because it was every day. He would go around that corner leaving the school and just go, hit the sign.
And every time you said that, was there a hope that he would do it?
Yeah. His name was
Reggie. Oh my God.
His name was
Reggie.
He would be like,
Reggie.
hit the sign. And then he'd never do it. And then he'd just be like, he would acknowledge it. I can't remember exactly what he would say about it. He might have done it like one of the last days just to get us like to fucking stop.
Oh my God.
Edit out
Reggie.
name. I don't want the bus driver union coming after me.
Bus driver union. I feel like a bus driver union would devote all of its resources to stopping Dan, to putting an end to it.
I mean, they're the ones listening to the podcast.
That's true.
If anyone's listening to them, Sal, if you're out there, I still, I'm glad you did it. I think he hit the sign after.
Oh,
I can confidently say I think that he hit the sign a second time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just little things like that make a kid's day. When I used to teach at a day camp when I was a music teacher, that was like my favorite thing about kids is like if you just set stakes, like for some reason just as silly as you like, you could be as silly as you want, but if you just set stakes, kids always are like real into it. Candy, I mean, if you're doing like some sort of outdoor game involving like we had something like musical chairs or whatever, and you incorporated candy in it, game over. And then I was just telling this to someone the other day, if you let one kid have more candy, or like another team have candy and this one doesn't get it, you're gonna have a riot.
Jeez.
You're gonna have a riot. Those kids are gonna come after you. You gotta give all the kids get candy. Lesson for those at home. Where's my like? Give all the kids candy.
It's good philosophy.
Good philosophy. You should give all the kids candy.
All right. So there's a there was a comment made in the documentary that said that.
Yeah, I got some comments on the documentary. Go ahead, though.
Someone said that like the tie-dye stuff is like too garish. Or
you know who also said that?
Yeah.
Bob Weir.
You're right.
I'm right.
He did say that.
He did say that.
I saw the video. That was a cool little Instagram clip.
I've known that for a little bit, probably from like a Reddit thing, but that clip was funny.
He also has a weird philosophy about like drugs, I think, at the show.
What's his philosophy?
He thinks. Oh,
Please speak on behalf of Bob Weir.
This is what he said in the other one documentary. He said that if you're there to sell drugs, then you're a shitty person, basically. Mm-hmm. But if you're there to have fun, and he didn't really specify,
right?
I think he said he was okay with it. But he has like, which I guess is a fair thing to say.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh
my God.
I'm good.
I mean, selling what, beyond weed,
yeah,
that's
true.
A different story.
Nitrous Mafia.
I mean, not even. I mean, that's a world I don't even know about.
That'd be a good documentary, though.
Yeah, that would be a good documentary.
I wouldn't want to make it, though.
Fire up the can. Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I really don't want to get involved in the Nitrous Mafia. But if it's like if you're selling someone like psychedelics that are cut with other things and they're gonna lose their mind, I understand that.
Yeah.
And I think that there would be a lot of shitty people who are just like, oh, this is the drug ban that's going around for a million years now. Let me go to this outside this concert and fucking sell some bunk stuff to people. But
yeah, anyone who cuts like anything with something that it isn't, that's just really shitty. I don't even know how we got there. That's the thing with this podcast. There's a lot of tangents.
Bro,
you
gotta catch up with me on these.
I'm catching up. Shout out to Tequila.
Don't you want to see Pat cut loose, everybody? Can you at home? Can you put like an audience? when they do like the, like it's sitcoms where like they're like wild up, and like, there's that one guy's like, woo!
Yeah, it's just.
Cheers, dude. You graduated today.
Oh, I did.
When does this air?
This is gonna air. I don't know, probably in a few weeks.
A few weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, I graduated. I was they did a conferral, and they have conferred that I am graduated. So that's pretty awesome.
What is it's like a conference?
They go through
conferral,
like your whole record. I don't know why it's called that. They go through your record and just tick off all the boxes to make sure everything's checks out, and they officially like stamp your diploma or whatever. That's probably what they do actually.
Well, do you know anything about your ceremony yet?
It's probably gonna be virtual again, but I don't actually know. I don't know if they have a plan.
I'm kind of okay with that.
I know. Yeah, you were saying that you like that, but
I'm kind of okay with it. I'm not,
I like because we were gonna do it in Yankee Stadium. That was like the whole promise. Like, you're gonna work really hard, and that's your like your prize at the end, or like your award for doing that.
Yeah.
And it's just like doing it in my living room, whatever.
That's life. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that does that fucks me a little bit. Because
I went to my mom had her associate's degree when I was like a few years ago, so I got to see her graduation. But then my dad's he went to school right afterwards, and his was online, and it felt like he was like robbed of. He said that it was he felt robbed of it. But that's life. Dude, you could make a really good like uncle, like baker, who just like is really nihilistic.
I'm a nihilistic. I'm someone's uncle.
Yeah.
Who's also a baker.
Who's also an old man.
All right. Who's also a baker.
Yeah.
Specifically of what? Like breads and donuts.
Yeah, just bread mainly.
In the old country?
Mainly, I was thinking of like Little Shop of Horrors.
Mr. Bushnick?
Yes. But like a baker,
Yeah, I just showed someone Little Shop of Horrors, and we were talking about how Audrey talks like...
Oh my god.
This is the worst voice ever.
Yeah.
It's like this. Like, it's just really like...
Yeah.
It's this really like whispery, high-pitched voice. And she like squeaks.
She does. I saw it live off Broadway.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is totally... It's like... They do it really well.
Dude, great movie, too.
Yeah.
You want to know something crazy? It was me and Eliana were watching that. And then we were watching... what I then found out was the director's cut, which ends differently. It ends with all the plants taking over the world.
That's the one. That's the only one I saw.
So, but the theatrical one is not that. They blow it up and it ends really quickly. That was the real theatrical ending because they were testing the movie.
Oh, in the movie, you mean?
They were testing it and it didn't turn out. People weren't responding to that ending because it's literally 15 minutes of a song going on.
Oh yeah.
While the piranha monster plants are taking over the world for 15 minutes, and just several people are dying. You're watching like the roots come out of someone's sink and like pull them through a window. But we were watching it, and the whole time, like the whole rest of the movie is the same. And then I get to the last 15 minutes, and my fucking brain is like scrambling because I'm like, am I remembering this wrong? Like they beat the plant guy, and then we went on like a whole YouTube wormhole and Reddit Safari for answers.
I like that term, Reddit Safari.
Reddit Safari, yeah. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Put on a t-shirt. Cut me 60%.
That sounds like a bit like someone in big tech making a band, like someone in Silicon Valley.
Reddit Safari.
Who's 23. They really like math rock. Reddit Safari.
We are Reddit Safari.
Yeah.
Tell me about Reddit, dude. When did you fall in love with Reddit?
So, it started with like Hans Zimmer did a Q&A on Reddit, and I had to have an account to comment, so I made an account.
This was through NYU?
No, it was just I was just in middle school or whatever.
Oh, okay. Cool. Shout out to Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, it was like one of the first things I did on the internet, and then I got on Reddit, and I'm trying to think, just like no one subreddit in particular, but just the fact that you have all this like interesting stuff all the time, it became addictive. I had to like turn it off during finals week when I was a senior in high school.
Oh my god.
I had to delete it from my phone, but I think I don't know.
It's how your brain works too, like your brain specifically, because you'll just shout out some facts sometime and it'll be like, oh,
Yeah, that's true. I do like facts.
you like facts. You're like a human Snapple cat.
Yeah, I like that.
Bro, catch up. Come on. I'm about to refill this in a minute. I'm going to refill yours too.
Nah, I'm gonna slow
Ladies
down
and
for
gentlemen,
now.
let's cheer him on at home. Patrick Green Tea. Get that guy. Get that same thing. Woo! Woo! You got a lot of editing to do. I'm giving you a lot of notes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It's fun to listen back to these though, and sort of like remember what the hell happened.
What's your editing process while I eat this?
I just watched the whole
This
thing.
next cosmic brownie.
Yeah,
You watch the whole thing unfiltered once?
yeah, and I take notes
Or
based off of the time code. So like at 5 minutes this happens, and then after that it's just like it's so much. I have like a template of the notes page, and the template tells me like what to do next, and then I don't know. There's a lot of like little steps, like downloading it to your computer, which doesn't take that very long. But what I do is just edit, put the prologue in, which is the notes thing I was mentioning, which I record after I listen through the whole thing, just so I know what to say, and it refreshes me about what the episode's about, and then from there I could like name it and stuff, and based off of like some like quirky thing that's like the theme of the episode, like Jeff Chimenti musical, which I liked, and that's that. But then I the whole promo process is like 2 hours in and of itself. It's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Yeah. So I'm just going to pretend to fall asleep, but you concluded before I can keep going.
Yeah. That's my process.
That's a process. He's just a regular guy, everybody. He puts his pants on the same way as everyone else.
Actually, I can't say that. I'm just kidding.
You put them on differently?
Yeah.
What do you do? You somersault into
I
them?
throw them up in the air and I backflip them on. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
Do you have transition glasses?
I do, actually.
I knew it.
Yeah, they're really
Fucking
handy.
knew it.
I like them a lot.
Yeah. What happens if like someone's shining a flashlight in your face?
I'll still see the flashlight, but when I'm outside for like 20 minutes, then it gets a little darker.
Yeah.
And I don't have to squint to look in the sun's direction.
Yeah.
Whenever I don't have my glasses on, like I'm swimming in a lake, it just hurts to see, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the hell? Why is everything so bright?
You didn't even explain to your viewers why you were here in my world today. We didn't even talk about that. We just started talking about fucking
Yeah, dude.
the Jeff Chimenti musical.
So, yes, we are here in the little old rinky-dinky village.
Oh, rinky dink.
No, it's not even...
Don't even say my village, dude. We're not talking about my village here. We're talking about the Speaker Cables, the acclaimed #1 podcast on all platforms. Once I get that,
This is the
RSS
set
feed.
of speaker cables.
Speaker Cables.
This is true. I got my show didn't even have a set. I've only done like over Skype. So
It was in person. You're saying? Like the first in person one?
this is the first in-person one. Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know how the rest are gonna go. Mostly they're probably just gonna be Skype. But
Yeah.
the world is my set. You know.
The world is your set. The world's your oyster.
I feel like a true
about that.
documentarian. You know.
World
going
is your
around.
oyster. What does that mean?
I was just gonna say, what does that mean?
What does that mean? World is your oyster. Because there's a pearl. So it's like you gotta. How do they do that, man? Is that oysters that have pearls? Okay, Google,
Yeah.
do oysters make pearls?
Yes.
On the website nhm.act.uk, they say, pearls are made by marine oysters and freshwater mussels as a natural defense against an irritant such as a parasite entering their shell or damage to their fragile body.
Freshwater mussels.
So that's interesting. So let's dive into that a little bit. Like, when you're an oyster and parasites and shrimp and okay, yeah, just hop up. That's fine. That's fine, dude. I'm going on. I was just about to spin you some fucking hot.
I didn't think it was recording. It was almost out.
Oh no.
So all I did.
All right.
Preserved it.
Let's go back into that. Right. So oysters. Oysters to fight off parasites and like shrimp and clams. I'm guessing they get into a lot of street fights with in the ocean.
Yeah.
They're fighting them off, and the irritants are making pearls. A single pearl, right? If you're like Lisa Simpson or someone who wears a pearl necklace, like you've got at least, I want to say, 25 to 30 pearls on that string. Am I wrong to say that? I think that's a pretty regular amount, right? I think that's a pretty average amount for a woman's set of pearls, or guys. Anyone can wear them, right? So 30 oysters gotta go for a necklace? Where are the vegans on that? Where's the community standing up for that? Right? These oysters, 30 to 50 of them are getting fucking split open, cracked like a freaking car window. Gone. For a necklace. For something to wear on a night out. That honestly, to me, tacky.
No, you would make a good stand-up comedian. You had me on the whole journey.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I wish I could. There's a big thing between, not a big thing, but I should say there's a lot in like the comedy world. I've heard this more in podcasts, but it's like, if you are a comedian, you look at musicians as being really cool and you wish you're a musician. And if you're a good musician, you look at a comedian and you envy that a comedian can speak so well on a stage as a performer. And that's kind of what, like, every good musician wants to be a comedian, and every good comedian wants to be a musician. And to take that even further, I think that the best of the best are tapped into something that is on the same level as a musician. You know what I'm saying?
Here's a Snapple fact. John Mayer
Yep.
says that if he wasn't a musician, he would be a comedian.
I believe him. And he does this stuff with Dave Chappelle all the time. They do Controlled Danger, which is their little...
And he started comedy, and just like it didn't go well for him. I don't know what that means, but I guess he didn't... I don't know.
Yeah, I think, I think that he gets hit with a thing that's kind of like what Drake gets hit with, which is like that they're very successful musicians who don't have this image of like, I can't really say like showboating material success, because I guess that they both have enough money to be making posts about the brands that they work with or whatever. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, Drake's got an album coming out called Certified Lover Boy. If Travis Scott put out a record that was called Certified Lover Boy, we'd all be like, that's kind of lame, dude. This last record was a Twisted Carnival, and now now you want to talk about love? Like, everyone would give him crap for it. Everyone gives Drake crap for like 2C Slide and like being, that when the haircut came out, put a photo of that, dude. I mean, that haircut was crazy. But yeah, for sure, I would see that. I think John Mayer gets hit with being a pop person too much. I think that he's like, and I think that he broke that with The Dead. Like, I think everyone starts giving him his dues. But for real, I mean, dude shreds. Excuse me.
He does.
You gonna edit that out? The burp?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably.
Dude, big sip. Big sip, big slice.
Slowing it down. I'm only gonna have like four shots. Nah, it's a weed day. The lights are green, Daniel.
Let me see this weed you're talking about. Let's go to Connecticut. Go outside. Spin the trail cameras around. Find it. Get that weed. Spin the trail cameras back.
The weed that's there is like, it's been frozen for weeks. I mean, I've heard that still works and it's still fine.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like shitty.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's that's a little crazy.
Soon you can just go to Jersey or whatever and get.
I really hope that you use that container. And I hope that you save yourself cold fingers from looking for your weed outside because you deserve better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a paranoid guy?
Yeah. Because I have to be, you know.
You're different than the paranoid than I. Like, I feel like I'm very, like, I don't like saying that I'm OCD, but I'm very, like, things have to look a certain, like, before we sat down, everything had to look a certain way over here. You're more paranoid, like looming. Like, danger is looming.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like,
definitely.
like when we were doing the Halloween thing, like getting the UPD involved, like you're more paranoid. Like, I want my bases to be covered. I'm paranoid. Like,
you definitely. I don't think you had to get the UPD involved for the shoot. I mean, maybe for the show.
I forget how they got involved. So I just remember I was golfing and I got a call from the sheriff at the campus, and I just thought it was really funny that I was golfing, and I was like, "Yeah, the Grateful Dead kids are coming in Saturday, and it's gonna be loud." It's like, and while I'm golfing too, like I felt like a CEO.
Oh my God.
It was great. It was a fun time.
How do you dress when you're golfing?
Different than how I dress in real life.
In real life.
I was relaxed. I was loving it a little bit too. I had a good windbreaker, a lot of like athletic sweats, baseball hats, the glove. I mean, you gotta have the glove.
Glove? Only one glove?
Yeah, for your for this hand, for your top hand. Right? Oh no, maybe the opposite. I don't know. I've only been doing it for a couple months.
You poser, you golf poser.
Oh, I don't even boast like that. We did, on Thanksgiving, I went out with my uncle and my cousin. We went to a digital golf, like it's a screen, and then they have like a radar behind you, and you hit an actual golf ball against the wall, and it tracks like the direction of your club and where the ball went and like how far it would go and the power you had behind it. And I had like plus 90 something. Like it was unheard of how bad I was at digital golf. It was worse than the week before when I was in North Carolina on an actual golf course. For the first time, that was my first time on a golf course. Like the range and golfing are very different. Like the range, it's almost like it's like going to the gym. You're just slamming them. If you're if you're on a golf course, you got to be a little more like, okay, how am I gonna get this to the hole? Exercise is a different muscle.
For sure.
For sure. Sinking in my chair here. I'm not talking into the mic. You're gonna have some crazy audio for this. I'm like all over today.
Oh, here's a question it popped into my head that I wrote down. What is your like preference between strains of weed?
Oh, that is a good question. I more or less I do like sativas because I like I like the creative, energized feeling of strains sometimes, but I'm not a stickler. I'm not like. I mean, rarely am I really consistently asking someone what it is. It's more like if someone tells me what they've got, and I recognize something that I've enjoyed in the past, I'll maybe head towards them. Like very generic ones that I like a lot. I like wedding cake. I like sour diesel. I like Girl Scout cookies. Gorilla Glue.
Mm-hmm.
Wedding cake is probably my favorite. I think for some reason I just like wedding cake a lot. And I never really cared about taste until recently. Another one, mimosa, tasted really good.
Well,
Some sherbet ones that I've had in the past. Some crazy ones. Gelato. That was another good one. King Louis is a great one that I used to get like a pre-rolled pack of. Skywalker OG. I used to get another. It was like a. Man, I can't believe I burned through those so quick. But it literally. I'll show you later. It's like I have the cartridges now, but it looked like a cigarette carton of like 8 or 10 pre-rolled joints.
Mm.
This would probably last you an entire year. It was like perfectly rolled medical, like I don't know medical, but smart rolls, like a company like Smart Bud, and like 10 of them, and it came with a lighter, like a USB lighter, which was even cooler. They're great, and you would just fucking pop one out and have a whole day, just cooked, and it was fucking. Those ones were great. I can't really think of anything else. Lemon haze or some sort of lemon one, maybe like lemonade. That's a strain. What about you?
There was one.
Is there a Reddit for strains?
Probably. I haven't looked into that though. I feel like just with the options, because strains, it's not like something you can shop around. You just like you have to study them, and then when people offer them to you, you have to be like, oh yeah, I remember this did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's all like just what you smoke and you like. I haven't smoked much that I like knew what it was. To be fair, a lot of it I just like bought from people. Or it was given to me or whatever. However, there's a long tangent to say that.
What? We're actually getting pretty close. We got like 15 minutes left. 15?
Yeah,
on these camcorders. So.
But anyway,
maybe
long story short.
Okay.
Watermelon gelato I really like because it doesn't smell that bad, which is important to me. But I'm probably.
Watermelon is interesting. Gelato. Sometimes they mash the names together when they like fuse the strains or whatever weed science the botanists are doing.
Maybe, but
herbologists, is that what they're called now? Is that the preferred nomenclature?
I had a bud tender. That's
hilarious. A bud tender?
So I went to
fucking someone in San Diego with a.
No, it was in Madrid.
Oh, that's okay.
And because like they have some weird law where if it's a private club that is members only, then it's legal,
right.
Which is dope. But I had Cinderella there. I really liked that strain. They said it was the best they had, so to me it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the most expensive, but I forgot it was. It might have been a hybrid.
I just realized it's not even 8:30.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm like sauced out of my mind, but I'm pretty cooked. And then I was like, it's got to be like 11. It's 8:30.
No, man. We work quick.
I mean, you want to keep going? Do you want to keep going for this one? If possible, if it's this early in the night, I'd like to switch over to a speaker cables one at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So
why don't we do like a break in between? Why don't we wrap this up? Because we talked about a lot. How long do you usually do it for? 30 minutes?
It's usually like 40 or an hour or something like that. So like this is a good length.
Yeah.
So here we are.
So here we are. Here we've been for an hour and 15 minutes.
I love this set. Thank you for having me here.
Of course.
I think the podcast definitely benefits from, collaboration.
I think I personally benefit from you, and something that I beat myself up about watching that last podcast we did when I was looking at it is that I didn't applaud you enough for the efforts and the. I was telling, one time I was just like, man, I can't believe he drives an hour and a half to get here to like for days where it's like me and Jordan being silly. You know, you're just very on top of your game, and I respect your drive. I think, good sir.
Like you.
And you know, I'm always down for whatever crazy project you're signing up for.
Cool. And I am too. If you ever need my film or sax services,
Hey now, come on.
happy to oblige.
Patrick's Green Tea Podcast.
Patrick's Green Tea Podcast.
Patrice. Now the fans at home are saying, Pat, will you eat that cosmic brownie?
I will.
There you go, folks.
Thank you. All right.
You want me to start?
Yeah, we can just cut there.
Okay. Fade it out.
Fade it out.
Whoop, boop, boop, boop.
Hello. Thanks for listening to the podcast. You can find me at Patrick's Green Tea on Patreon, Discord, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, and Bandcamp, Patrick's Green Tea Podcast on Instagram, and Patrick Green Tea without an S on Twitter. If you donate at least $5 a month on Patreon, you'll get exclusive access to the Drunk Patrick Chronicles. The show is available wherever you get your podcasts. Supplemental materials like photos and text are available on our website, patricksgreentea.com. You can join our subreddit at r/patricksgreentea. You can make comments on YouTube and on the website, and you can contact me directly at patricksgreentea@gmail.com. Don't forget to leave a review of the show on your favorite podcasting platform. It really helps us out. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.